Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins.
She said, "Are you good now?" I said, "Yep." And then she started. I'm like, "Crap, I'm not ready."
You said yes.
I know. My mouth said yes. My brain said, "Whoa." Hi.
Hi. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. Today we are September 9th, and it is episode 10th. Shoot, that was yesterday.
Actually, I think today's the 11th.
No, it's the 10th.
No, it's the 10th. Okay.
Oopsie. I'm still on yesterday, apparently. I'd like to welcome back those who've been here before, and if you're new, glad you joined the party.
I'm Lynn, also known as Toll Baby. Yes, I need to wake up and talk now.
Yeah.
You can find us on Ravelry. You can find us on our Facebook group. We have a blog at twotangleskeins.com. We're on Twitter and YouTube, and all three of us are on Instagram individually, and we're also on Instagram. The podcast has its own Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even look at the paper for that. I did after a while, but it was in completely the wrong order, so I looked and then I realized I was in the wrong place and just
winged it. Yeah.
Winged it.
I just made sure I put it in the order you like. Because, you know.
Yeah.
So today is, or this weekend is the Almont Fiber Festival, which we both planned on going to. But last night I was like, yeah, nope, I'm not getting up early. I don't have the energy. The last 2 days at work have been, yeah.
I slept in.
Mm-hmm.
Selma's there, that's why she's not here.
Yep. And she's like, but you were my ride back. I'm like, sorry. She's going with a friend, and I don't think the friend has been to any sort of fiber festival, so she didn't really want to rush her.
Yeah.
So.
That's all good.
Yep.
You'll see her next week.
Hopefully.
Because she's back.
Yes. She's back at work. Yay. So, what you been up to?
Nothing. I say that. I spent 5 days in Chicago.
I was going to say, we've been gone for 2 weeks from the podcast. Where have you been?
Last Friday, I flew to Chicago, and Rob and I spent the weekend running around like crazy people, as we usually do. But we actually got everything on our list done.
That's kind of awesome.
It's never happened before. Ever. We've never even come close. So, we had a list of things we wanted to get done over the course of the weekend, and we got them all done except for the one thing. We didn't rent the boats at Independence Grove. We didn't,
Okay.
That was the only thing we didn't do. And
The
we were
paddle boats?
Yeah.
Okay.
The pontoons with the...
Yeah.
They're actually pontoon boats that you can paddle. So, pedal like a bike.
Yes.
We got some experimenting done for the eventual shop. I actually created the shop on Etsy. It's in vacation mode right now, so you can't actually see anything. But we actually have an Etsy shop now.
Congratulations.
So exciting! It's on my account, so I have to do all the listing and stuff, but that's fine. He actually even came up with a little gimmick that's uniquely him. So uniquely him. And he's going to send them out with each order. I'm not telling.
Oh, so a little extra.
A little extra that he's going to send out with orders.
Okay.
And it is so Rob. You will laugh when I tell you after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get to know.
Yes, you get to know. So we've got a couple of products that we're ready to list already. It's all going to be made to order for now until I add my bits.
Mm-hmm.
I experimented on my bits this weekend. It was a lot of fun. And now I just have to buy the tools to be able to do it here, because I used his tools while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to just do it while I'm down there. So I have to obtain some tools, which I'm probably going to get out of my dad's garage tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. I posted a little hint on Instagram. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson number 1, don't use pine.
Yep.
As soon as you stain pine or try to seal it, it raises the grain and you have to sand it all over again.
And then does it do the same thing again?
Yeah.
Okay. So
until you've got enough layers built up that it's not seeping into the actual wood.
So what would you use?
Hardwoods, maple.
Okay. So birch is not a hardwood?
I don't know if birch would work. I'll have to try it.
Maple's
Maple, oak, fruit trees are really good. So I'm going to go to the orchard near my mom's and see if they'll give me some.
You going to cut off a branch, are you? My fruit tree
up
front?
Well, you know, if you guys decide to prune it at some point.
He prunes it. He will prune it. So
we'll see.
Kind of looking droopy.
You guys have no idea when. Well, you may have some idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that, and then the Monday, because in the States apparently, and some places in Canada, I'm told, there are Labor Day parades. I had never heard of such a thing. We live in Ottawa. We've never had a Labor Day parade.
It's just a day off for us.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's only a day off for people who, like, work in the government and stuff, like salaried employees and things. Like, because even in the States, all the stores were open.
No, here, like, everything is closed. Walmarts and all the, except for grocery stores and restaurants and the pharmacy. Yeah,
because in the States, everything was still open. And I was like, how is that a holiday?
They wouldn't want to lose money.
So anyway, we were working the hot dog sale at the parade because Rob is a member of the Genealogy Society where he lives, and they raise money by doing a hot dog sale and bake sale every year. So I actually baked.
Cool.
I baked some zucchini chocolate because one of his friends has a little farm and has a CSA, and he brought Rob this ginormous zucchini, like ginormous. Rob doesn't eat zucchini. Well, he does when I put it in his food, but he doesn't know what to do with the zucchini.
He doesn't intentionally eat it.
So, and I did put it in his food. I can't remember what I made. I was like, I made sloppy joes. I was like, so how are they? And he goes, are there tomatoes in this? Like actual tomatoes? And I'm like, yep. As well as a few other vegetables. How do you like it? I was like, it's really good. Okay. He says, what's in it? I'm not telling you till you're done. There was zucchini in it. Among other things. But, so his friend brought him this huge zucchini. So I'm like, gotta use up this zucchini. And he didn't want me to make a big pot of pasta sauce, which is how I normally use up the zucchini. So instead, I made zucchini chocolate chip muffins, and they were a huge hit.
So good.
They were a huge hit.
It gives it the moisture.
Yeah. They're good. I used the recipe from Chatelaine, so if you want to Google zucchini muffins Chatelaine. We didn't have any cocoa powder in the house, though, so I left that out. Because they were chocolate zucchini muffins, and with chocolate chips in them, and I just omitted the cocoa powder, and they were fine. Mm-hmm. So
if you have chocolate chips, it
yeah,
you don't really need the extra chocolate. It's
and
nice.
The first batch I did was dark chocolate chips, and the second batch was semi-sweet.
And where are mine?
And well, you weren't at the bake sale.
I don't care.
You can bake your own.
Yeah, I can. Actually,
I don't generally bake. The first batch turned out beautiful. I wrapped them up in saran wrap, put little price tags on them, and the second batch, in the interest of saving time, I thought that I would just put the little foil muffin cups on a baking sheet. Don't ever do that. I ended up with muffin pancakes. It just kind of expanded all over the place.
Yeah, there's no structure.
So, don't do that.
How were the pancakes?
Well, those I brought anyway, and I just gave them to the volunteers who were working the hot dog stand with us, and they were gone in 5 minutes.
Oh, good.
And Rob was like, I don't know if I want to try one of those. I've never had a zucchini muffin before, and I'm like,
just do it.
Everybody there was like, try them. So he tried one, and he's like, hey, these are real. You can't even taste the zucchini, and I'm like, of course you can't.
Kind of like the sloppy joes.
Zucchini is one of those things, unless you just like fry it by itself or grill it by itself, you can't taste it. It just picks up the flavor.
Nope.
But anyway, and then I ended up spending an extra day there because flights got messed up and whatever, so I spent an extra day. I got my yarn from Knit Picks. Oh yeah, I guess I have stash, but it's the same damn yarn I've been using for a month, so you don't want to see it anyway. And then I came home, and that's it. That was my week.
Yeah, because the way they changed your flights, you would have had to spend the night in Toronto.
I would have been spending the night in Toronto, and I was like, look, if I'm going to spend a night away from home, I'm going to do it in my boyfriend's bed rather than in a hotel by myself.
Where you won't get any sleep.
I said nothing. Anyway, since this is a knitting podcast.
Is it?
Shut up.
It's Lynn. It's all about Lynn.
Well,
it's okay.
I had a trip.
It
was exciting. I did not go to the Lorna's Laces sale, though.
Good for you.
There was a Lorna Laces Mill-In sale in downtown Chicago on Saturday, and Franklin Habit posted about it. And I was like, I'm actually going to be there, but I had no money because I got paid the day I got back.
Well, that's another reason I didn't want to go to Almont, because
I'm saving for Rhinebeck.
Well, we're saving for Texas, and it's not going to be cheap. Sean just got measured because he's going to be wearing a tux. Yep. And I'm like, so I'm looking at all the measurements, but they didn't measure your inseam. He's like, yeah, I know, weird. And
he's gonna end up with pants that are 3 feet too long for his legs.
I don't know. Anyway.
So yeah, that was our week.
Cool.
I can't remember why I put this down, but it was important at the time.
Apparently. So, FOs.
None.
Well,
Nada.
I do have one.
Yeah, she does.
I do have a few FOs, but they're not knitted items. So I think most of you know that I was going to do some dyeing on the long weekend.
This is exciting.
And so I did that. I did some experimenting, and I'm quite pleased with with what I got in the end. So basically this, yes, these were speckled dyes that I did.
I really like the brighter one. It's
So
really pretty.
they were done in the same pot, but I just put different amounts of dye on them, and one took up like the peachy color in the background. This way.
Which is the bright
And
orange.
Sean called this Everlasting Gobstopper, but
I think that one's more everlasting gobstopper to me.
And so, you know, of course my besties get first pick, and Selma picked this one, and I'm like, you can't have it till Saturday. Because
we
I
have to
must
show it
show.
on the podcast.
So that was those two. And then I did some, oh, that's stuck. Then I did some like tonals, and yes, I did them both in the same pot, and they are different. One has more purples, one has more pinks. My boss basically told these and went, mine. I'm like, what are you good at? She's like, here you go. Yeah, so one is like the more blues, and the other one has more pinks. And then this one was specifically dyed for somebody in mind. And where the ties were, the dye, I must have tied them too tight, and the dye didn't pick up. But now that it's skeined up,
it looks fine.
There's all these little flecks of white.
Yep.
Yep. So that's what I did. These are 100% merino, and they're just over 400 yards each. And so this was my first experiment, and I have all the tools I need now, everything. I'm going to have to refine my process. But I basically bought, you know those black turkey roasters? That's what I bought to do the speckled dyes in. So, pour toi.
Because I don't like teal or anything.
No. Well, I saw in like spruce. Spruce has blue. That's going to turn teal. She's going to love it.
Well, the best part is, Selma was like, wow, she really got you pegged. And I was like, well, they were my dyes.
Yeah.
So.
So
I bought colors I liked.
once again, that's what they look like.
Ta-da!
One's for Selma. These three.
Look, it matches my top and everything.
It does, so.
Because, you know, me and teal.
I just don't know which one I like more. I don't know. So, I'm planning on dyeing some more. And eventually they will end up in the shop.
Was this one cone?
Yes. Yeah. This is one cone. 5. 2 of the cones are going to get 5 skeins, and one is going to get 4, and then the rest are going to be minis. So, you know, frenzies will get minis too. So that's my FO. Should I do whips?
Well, you also made that thingy.
Oh, right. I did. I made a nitty naughty. So this is the 1 yard one, which is good for smaller
Look
skeins.
at you with the little rubber plugs and everything.
Well, they didn't have the ends, so he's like, go into the section where they have table for the table ends for like to put on your table legs. And so it worked perfectly. And then I have the other bar that you can switch, and that's what I use to measure the yarn for the skeins, because they're 2 yards, and it works out perfect. So,
Your husband mathed and everything.
Well, I had a wooden one that he had made me, but we couldn't get it to be the right, and there
exact
was
length.
And there's grooves in it, so you have to take that into account. And like they were old table legs that he just did up quickly for me, which was fine at the time. But if I need exact, so now I got these, and it was under $10.
There you go.
So I need a nitty naughty. I will go with whips.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
We all know I'm boring.
the first whip is my Marco Polo. And I don't think I was finished the collar last time, was I? I don't think so. So I got the button band done.
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm. So I got the button band done. It's kind of curling a bit. But, so I did the whole thing. No buttonholes, so I'm not putting buttons on it.
Haha, I win.
Yes, you do. And I picked up, let me just pull this in. I picked up one of the sleeves. So, actually, no. The markers here, I must have been done the button band. So I picked up one. It's really hard to maneuver this thing. So I picked up one of the sleeves, and you can see that's where I picked it up, where the marker is. So I've got red, the rest of the red, the white, and now I've started some brown. And did I tell everybody I found my yarn?
You told me.
I looked through every bin of stash I have 3 times.
And she was like, clearly we didn't buy enough yarn when we bought the yarn for the sweater.
And she's like, nope, you bought
And I'm like, I bought enough yarn. Trust me. I did the math. I bought enough yarn.
I found the yarn in the drawer of my sewing table. And so Tanya was like, well, duh. It's a sewing table, not a knitting table. Smart aleck. So that is the Marco Polo by Ella Torrente, and it is made out of Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash. 220 is not how many yards are in this game. Don't be fooled, there's only 137. Yeah. Because when she was doing the math, she's like, oh, wait, what? So then
These are 220 yards.
So she was doing the math on 220 and then had to do it all over again. And it is in cream brown and what they call burnt orange, which I think is more of a red.
Sort of a bricky red.
Yeah. And it is on size 4.5 millimeters for the body and the arms, and the cuffs and the neck and the bottom are on 4. So 4.5 is a 7. I still wrote it down wrong. US 7, and 4 is a US 6. So,
oh, and I forgot, that was the other exciting thing I did while I was in Chicago. I was featured on the After Hours podcast.
Yes, that's true. I couldn't be there.
I was on the After Hours Knitting Group podcast last Saturday. So
I was
go check them
supposed
out.
to, but my nephew was in town with baby that I haven't seen. He was born in May, and it was like, well, I have to choose. I need baby squishes.
Podcast baby. I don't think I could have made that choice either.
Yeah. So I got a picture with the baby. He is so cute. So speaking of baby, I am knitting something for said baby. His name is Zane, which I think is like
adorable.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Zane Jake Cameron Gates. Cameron is her, Gates is me, obviously. So the marker is where I was last time. I think I got quite a bit of progress. I'm just about to start doing the decreases for the neck. And this is the Playdate by Playdate? Yes, Playdate by Tin Can Knits. And so I have to show this one because of the hair. And it basically looks like a mini grandpa sweater. Or boyfriend sweater.
They actually have one called Gramps that's also
right.
baby sizes.
And so the only thing I'm not doing is the pockets, because I figure 4 months old, he doesn't need pockets. And this is being knit out of Knitpick. No, that's you. Knitpicks out of Comfy Fingering, and it's the Peapod colorway. Yeah, I'll get there. I'm trying to read, and I'm like all over.
I have no idea what size it's knit on.
3.75 millimeters, which is a US 5. That's the body, but obviously the cuff and sleeves and that are knit on. I think it's a 3.25. So yeah, it's so squishy. I was thinking, and it's probably too late now. I was thinking of doing the cuff and the neck in a different color, but I've already done the bottom, so you can't really mix that up. So this is in an Erin Lane bag. My sweater is basically in a reusable shopping bag at the moment. And the other thing is my Pirates Yarn, Pirates Love Rainbows from Rowena, right? Rowena,
yes.
Who is in on Pender Island in British Columbia. So check out these colors, like these. I've had people comment on YouTube that the colors are amazing.
They are.
And amazing with the room because of the colors of the background. So I'm doing them 2 at a time. They are on 2.25 millimeters, and where the
which is the US one.
US one, where the pirates don't love cupcakes, apparently. My cupcake is where I was last time. So I'm slowly getting these done. These are bust knitting. The baby sweater is work knitting, and the Marco Polo is home knitting. So only 3 knitting at a time.
I was hoping to cast on my Pirates Love Rainbow socks on September 19th, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I have too much to do.
And this is living in the 1 skeiner bag. Oh, the blue's not quite as dark, is it? No, the One Skeiner bag from Selma, who is
That's about right.
Little Creek Designs on Etsy. And I did start something else, and I'll show you this, but it is a surprise for somebody, so I can't really show it anymore. It is a cross stitch pattern, and basically that's what I've got done, and that's all I can show you.
Oh,
Now you remember?
yep.
Okay.
All good.
And that's all my whips.
Oh, you decided not to do that because it was going to take too much time.
No, this one is pretty easy, and I've got
Okay.
it mapped out how much I need to do.
All right, then.
I mean, if I get it done, I get it done, but...
So it's my turn then.
It's your turn.
Guess what I'm working on?
But aren't your hexagons finished because you put the border, so they are finished object?
No, they're not.
Because they're not a blanket.
I've been knitting these things, crocheting these things, these bloody things forever. I've made very little progress since the last time you saw me because I had no crocheting time at Rob's. Not because he didn't want me to crochet, but because we were running around like crazy people. We basically we had a blast last weekend, but we got very little restful time to ourselves. So, I didn't get a lot of crochet time. When I got back, I had zero crochet mojo, and the first night I was back, I did groceries and did errands, and I didn't get home till 9:30. So by that point, I was like, Thursday, I got home. I had to do some more errands because I left the boy by himself for a week. So there was stuff to be done. So I didn't have a lot of crochet time then. Last night I went to knit night. I got a bit done there. But even so, I didn't get to knit night until like 8 p.m. Because I was just exhausted when I got home from work. Oh, yeah, and Thursday when I got home from doing my errands, I literally passed out in my armchair. I fell asleep, and I didn't wake up till Rob woke me up to go walking. And I started walking again. I've started going out walking every night. So that's taking up crochet time too.
But what else has changed?
Oh, my doctor changed my diabetes meds. My blood sugar has dropped to normal levels, and it has been at normal levels for an entire week. My weight, again.
But he said this one wouldn't.
He said, no, he said, more importantly, he said this one would help me drop weight. And I've gained 8 pounds. So I don't know what's going on. But, like, there's less here. My measurements have changed a little bit. I'm not as bloated as I was, but I've gained weight. So I don't know if it's because I started exercising again or what's going on, but I'm not looking at the scale again for a while.
Your levels are good.
My levels are excellent. So
you were having a hard time getting them down.
I couldn't get down below 13, and for the Americans, multiply that by 15, and I think that's your number. I think. Something like that. Anyway, our scale isn't the same as yours. Between 4 and 7 is normal for us. I was between 13 and 20 all the time on meds. So my doctor put me on new medication. And, I went to the diabetes clinic and they were like, no, this is not working. So they put me on new meds. And the first day I was at 12 and the second day I was at 8. And I've been at 6, between 6 and 8 ever since, which is normal.
The doctor said that medication, they don't really give it out because
it's expensive.
It's expensive
and
it
not
makes
covered.
You gain weight. The other one.
The other one. Yeah, they don't give it out because it does make you gain weight. But he said, okay, your blood sugar is one thing, but we also have to help you bring the weight down so that you can start controlling it more easily on your own. So I'm a little confused, but it's only been a week, so we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. I've also got some weird hormonal stuff going on with lady bits, so we won't go into that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was my...
That's why she didn't get a lot of crochet.
I didn't get much done because I've been really tired.
But how many hexagons did you get the gray put on?
Oh, well, I had 6 that I had done but didn't have the borders on them, so now they've got the borders. And I did 2 more. I did manage to do one whole one at midnight last night.
And they can be attached now.
So they will be attached to the blanket this afternoon. The other thing that happened when I came back from Chicago is my air conditioner doesn't work anymore. So it's really hot in my apartment, and I can't stand to have the whole weight of the blanket on me while I'm attaching squares. So that's why nothing has been attached.
How many rows do you have done now? 6?
6, and I'm partway through row 7.
And what were you 2 weeks ago when we were on the podcast?
I had finished the hexagons for row 6, and I was waiting for the gray to put borders on them.
Okay.
So I haven't made any progress.
But you put the borders on all of them?
I should be partway through row 8 by now.
Okay.
If I was on track. So I'm way behind, and I need to get moving. We'll see how that goes. Because I get the feeling I'm going to be doing nothing but this until Rhinebeck. Well, when I get near the end, I'll have more time and I'll be able to do other no. So that's it. That's all I've been working on. Because I haven't actually said what I was working on.
Yeah, that.
The Ruby Hexagon Blanket by Nova Seals. It's out of Nipix Brava in I'll do the balls. Freesia. I know. This is Freesia, actually. It's the light from the window is making it blue, but it's bright purple. Marina, which is this lovely teal. Tranquil, which is the lighter teal. And Dove Grey Heather, which is like the boring gray. But it's actually a really pretty gray color.
It ties it all together.
I actually think I want a sweater out of this, because look at how pretty it is.
It is nice, isn't it?
And it's very soft.
Worsted,
so
right?
And I may have to buy some more of that. But we'll see after I'm done with blanket, because,
You have other things you want to knit on.
Yeah.
Or start, or.
Yeah. I also have 6 other projects on the needles that are on hold right now, so we'll see how it goes. That's all I'm working on. I put
myself down to 3. That's pretty darn good.
Oh, and it's a G-hook, which is a 4mm, or a US 6.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so it goes by needle size. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, it says G/6 4mm.
Yep. Cool.
So that's what I got.
So, final countdown for the Canada Cal. There are over 400 entries.
Now I've got that song stuck in my head. Thanks
You're
so
welcome.
much.
There are over 420-ish entries so far. And that doesn't mean finished objects, like Lynn said last week. It means how many times a project has been posted, because you can double and triple dip. So we're quite excited. Selma was telling me the Grocery Girls have like 1,000 posts. And we want to do a tally of all the podcasts that are doing this with us at the end to see how many we have.
Last night I was on VKN very briefly with Andrea and Jen. And Andrea was like, I finally cast on my project for the Canada Cal.
Kids are back at school.
I'm like, I haven't. Don't feel bad.
If I can get the baby sweater done, then that'll be it. But I can enter it in other people's. But
yes, like the Grocery Girls.
It'll be one thing. And the Wool Gathering podcast with Meredith. So what was I saying? So I talked to Selma. I'm like, yeah, so next year. She's like, we're doing it again next year? I'm like, well, I think this has been a huge success. And someone mentioned on the YouTube comments that they were amazed about how many people around the world are participating in this. So I think it's kind of awesome. The hashtag on Instagram is CanadaCal2016, and there are still valid coupon codes in the coupon code thread.
And I took advantage of one just a couple of days ago.
Was it the one you were talking about that you had to talk to her? And she did it, it worked?
So I will have stash to show you next week from Totally Inked Yarn.
Cool. So basically it was the way Etsy was calculating it, and she's
she said she would refund me to reflect the actual shipping.
Okay. That's what I've been doing lately too.
That's why Rob and I decided to put a flat rate shipping on what we're putting in the shop. He went to the post office and found out how much it would cost to ship it within the United States, and so that's our flat shipping
flat rate is good because there's somebody, what is her name? Penguin Soup does that. She has a flat rate, which is, it's kind of cool. So, that is that. I was going to talk about the Brown Bag Sock Club because Selma was going to be here, but I'm going to leave that. And
next weekend.
Hopefully she'll be here next weekend. So now we're up to Flash the Stash.
Because we have a prize to...
Yeah, we do have a prize.
Yeah, we'll wait till she's back.
I skeined up the little one last night.
Oh, yes. That's what that was for. Okay, never mind.
Yes.
I'll be okay.
So now we have Flash the Stash.
I have stash.
So do I. You
I
can
know.
go first. You can go first.
Well, first.
Wonder where you got that from.
That is lovely yarn from Sue, which will hopefully soon be available in the shop at some point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to get my hands on some merino nylon.
Yes.
This is 100% merino, so.
Right, no socks. That's okay. I'm sure, maybe I'll make myself a sock head out of that.
That would work.
A sock head or a Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Rika, however
Ricky.
Selma says it.
Ricky.
So I don't have any yarn, but I got this lovely package that Selma brought back from PEI from Moira. Moira?
Yep.
Yes, okay, I got it right this time.
Who is the host of Knitting in Stitches?
I'm sorry, I'm really bad with people's names. So I got this lovely package and I left it, even though it's torn and I knew what it was and I was so excited, I left it in the package so that you guys could see me unwrap it on air because it's so exciting. So Selma was in PEI and she met up with Moira. And I don't know if Moira knows how perfect this is for me because this was my obsession growing up.
Me too. Maybe she felt bad for me because I said I've never been to the Anne of Green Gables. I know. We all have one. But yeah, when I saw...
It's an Anne of Green Gables bag. Look at the fabric. Isn't that gorgeous?
When I saw that on Instagram that Selma posted, I was just like...
And it's got a little Canada Progress Keeper. And it's got a little L Progress Keeper. You can just barely see there.
Yep.
So it's my initials. And then when you open it up, it's got
it's
this
like,
gorgeous blue gingham fabric on the inside that I really like.
Did a good job with that.
And there's a little needle.
I know. Isn't it awesome?
I love it.
Because,
so
you know, mine has an S. And green. A little green bead.
And it's this really, really pretty navy blue inside.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more. There's a little PEI notebook.
They're made in PEI. She showed these.
It has a little pen on top,
yeah.
if you can see. But they're little PEI notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
And they are made in PEI by Windy Ridge Paper Crafts.
Yeah,
which
mine
is
has a different thing on the front.
Yeah. Well, yours is the state flag, the provincial flag.
Provincial flag.
Mine is a nifty little Prince Edward Island thingy.
Yep.
And there's more!
Because I got one of these too.
I got a Knitting and Stitches button.
Yep. And I love that the back is plastic.
Yes.
Because it's, like, I love that.
Plastic on the back instead
of
metal. But there's more! And I got a little Doctor Who magnet. A Doctor Moon magnet. That's awesome.
And I got moonions.
She combined my two, because I used to collect black and white cows, like stuffed ones, when I was a little kid.
I got moonions.
I got a Dr. Moon. I'm going to stick that on my mom's fridge tomorrow, and she's not going to have the first clip. Oh, she gave me the soap, but the thing is I'm allergic to lavender. So we're going to switch.
Okay.
Because she has one that doesn't have lavender in it.
I saw this one, and Selma knew that I would pick this.
Oatmeal stout?
Coconut cream.
Oh, okay. That didn't work as well as I thought it would.
No, didn't
I shouldn't do that with
Didn't.
this top.
So in there it goes. So,
Pardon me.
And the soap is made by ommade.com. And they're in Prince Edward Island.
Yes, Selma and I are going to switch bars because she had taken one that I would be okay with, and I gave her the lavender one back.
Okay.
After she left, even though I had only touched the plastic bag, I got a rash all over my arm. I was like, well, I guess I wasn't lying, huh? I really need to start keeping antihistamines at work.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I have more skin sensitivities than I have other kinds of allergies, so my mom used to have to give me a bath when I was a little kid. She couldn't use bubble bath and she couldn't use bar soap. So she used to use Sunlight Lemon dishwashing liquid, the stuff that you use in the sink to do your dishes. And she said that the side benefit was that she never had to clean the tub because I would clean it as I was having a bath. And even now, I can't use most body washes. I have to be careful. Shampoo, I almost always get a rash, like invariably, because I can't find anything that I don't react to.
And if you found something that would be like
exorbitantly expensive.
Yeah.
I've once found a shampoo that I could use, but it's like $25 a bottle, and I was like, I don't care that much. I routinely get rashes on the sides of my arms from the stuff they use to clean our desks at work.
I told them not to.
Yeah.
I specifically
It didn't occur to me.
No, you need to tell them not to because you have an allergy.
Because that used to happen to me at Hydro-Quebec when I worked there, and I could never figure out why my arms were always covered in hives.
Well, and they always want to come around with those feather dusters. I'm like, no, you're going to spread the dust everywhere. I will do this myself. I bought wet wipes to clean monitors. I use those for my desk. So, is that it?
So thank you,
Moira.
Moira. They are gorgeous, and I love it, and I love it so much. And my daughter's going to try and steal it, and she can't have it. It's
Nope.
fine. My mom is going to love this. I'm going to show it to her tomorrow. I love this fabric.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've decided that Sean and I need to go to PEI.
I love the little Ann squares.
And I need to go to the museum because as a child I wasn't able to go.
So pretty.
So I have other stash.
I have sort of other stash, but it's just more of this yarn, so whoopee.
One of the admins that I work with went to Serbia to visit family on vacation, and then she went to Greece by herself. And the one thing that stuck with me when she was talking about her trip was at one point she went camping on a secluded beach by herself, woke up every morning, took a swim in the ocean. So she said and she said the people, the atmosphere, the way of life, yeah, it's all different.
Greece is amazing. I've always wanted to do Greece.
So, not knowing that I like soaps, she brought back soap. And this is olive and lavender. Because Greece, I think they pressed lavender there.
And they also have olive groves.
Yep. And then olive and pomegranate.
Oh. No.
Yep. So, Ashley, my daughter, was like, who's these soaps for? And I'm like,
oh
those
my
are
God.
I know, right? I was sniffing it for like 20 minutes. And then she was trying to find me something Greece related, and she couldn't really find something she thought I would like. So, she brought me back this. It's a minion magnet.
It smells amazing.
It's kind of sparkly.
Look at this. It smells amazing. Like, that's open. That's not plastic, so
Yeah.
you can actually smell it.
And there's like little designs on them. It has a minion magnet. And she's like, I hope you like it. I'm like, duh, minions on my desk. So that was that. Happy about that. And I got something else from Selma. And yeah, she went to the Belfast mini mill, and
I'm jealous now. I don't have any Corriedale.
she bought this Corriedale, 100% Corriedale wool roving, 8 ounces, so that I could experiment on dyeing. So, and I was telling her Corriedale is one of my favorite things to spin because it's a little grabby. So, yeah.
I have to. That's one of my goals at Rhinebeck is to buy some more Corriedale because I gave Sue my only braid of Corriedale.
I is sorry.
No, you're not. You're enjoying it.
I am. And then the other thing I got just the other day from Lynn, and I mean, she's like, it's not much. It's green.
Rob and I went to Joann's to buy vinyl for to cover a bicycle seat.
So I got a bag.
And they said, well, since you spent more than $30, you get a free tote bag. And they had pink, and they had yellow, and they had orange, and they had blue. And there was one green one sitting in the bottom of the pile. And I was like, that one, please.
So I was just like, eee, new travel bag for work. So that's the stash.
Yep.
So next
I'll have more exciting stuff next weekend.
Yeah. Next we have the coupons. Bags by Awesome Granny, our ongoing coupon code for 10% off is the code is 2TS10.
And 6 Munchkin Stitching has an ongoing coupon code for 10% off. It is the word 2, Tangled 10.
And I posted on Instagram this week that I'm having a flash sale in the shop. So I've reopened it. I've cut the prices quite a bit. And I'm trying to sell everything. And one of the reasons I want to sell everything is because I'm going to revamp the shop. And I want it to be empty. The other reason is I need some funds for Texas. So my first sale was Kathy from the Vegans. She's so sweet. But yeah, so if you want discounts, go check out my shop. Everything is marked down quite a bit, and I'm hoping that it just goes. because I'm thinking about new styles of bags, different
So
stitch markers.
because of the big sale, you've disabled the coupon code for
Yes.
yeah. For the Canada Cow.
Because I think it's more than 20% off that I put everything at. So
Yeah.
I had a discussion with Sean on what to do, and he was like, well, if it's this much, you should put it for, like, we figured it all out. So yeah, it's kind of awesome.
And we might have a shop open next week. We may not. It depends on whether or not we can get our logo done that quickly.
What's the shop name?
Schwarzcraft. Sorry. Try to say it properly. Schwarzcraft.
No S at the end.
No.
Okay.
And a friend of ours is designing the logo for us, and we're
That's
gonna.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so Rob wants to know how much you would charge him to design the logo, and she's like, he doesn't have to pay me, and I'm like, don't be that nice to him.
Make him pay something.
He does so. He has to pay for professional services.
So that's it.
Well, because the shop is a joint. He was like, really, you don't mind making all these little note cards and stuff? And I'm like, the shop is a joint effort. There's going to be some of my stuff in there. There's going to be some of his stuff in there. We'll see. So I'm very excited. And we will let you know when it is open.
And I will know what the little gimmicky thing is. I'll know in a minute.
You will.
So that's it for this week.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm going to go have a nap now.
We will see you next week, and hopefully Selma can come. And then we're going to discuss the prizes for the Canada Cow, the prize for the Brown Bag Sock Club, and yeah.
I keep looking over there because that's where the prizes were, but
they're up there now in a bag.
they've moved.
I might be bringing them to work so we can figure out, like, because we want to package some things together for the Canada Cow. So
yeah,
that's about it. Happy crafting. Bye.
Bye.